This plane landed before it left.
July 2nd, 1955. Idlewild Airport, New York. Departure time 2:17 p.m.
30 minutes after takeoff. Just gone.
Fast forward 37 years. Caracas Tower sees an unidentified clipper on approach.
The plane touches down at 2:17 p.m. local time, if it left in 1992.
The captain steps out, a 1950s Pan Am uniform. The tower chief freezes. It's 1992. The pilot laughs, then bolts.
No refuel, no inspection, gone, again. Pan Am 914 took off in 1955. What year is it? On board right now?
Passengers reported the cabin lights flickering, as if the plane kept jumping between day and night. Inside the cockpit, crew said the crew thing went wrong, as if time itself was pulling the plane apart.
Passengers described the cabin tearing itself apart as the world outside changed every second.
Then something opened in front of them, a tearing light pulling the plane forward. Everything inside lurched forward, as if the plane was being dragged out of the sky.
And then, the moment no one could explain. The aircraft didn't fly through the sky. It tore through time.
Inside the rift, everything went silent.
Then, without warning, the rift snapped shut and threw the aircraft back into reality.
Gravity hit them all at once. The cabin snapped back into motion. Then a voice crackled through the cabin speakers, using call signs from a year they didn't recognize.
The pilots tried their radio again,
November 12th, 1995.
and the reply they got wasn't from their year.
Then the captain made the announcement
We are currently in the year 2024.
that no one on a 1955 flight should have heard.
A sudden drop in pressure froze the air around them, and frost began crawling across the windows. As the frost cleared, the outside world didn't match their year. 2 different decades.
And then the two timelines collided. Everything on the outside fits on one possible world.
In the cockpit, every instrument froze, showing numbers no aircraft should ever see. The aircraft dropped without warning, and the cabin shook like it was falling from the sky.
In the cockpit, the pilots fought the controls, trying to pull the aircraft out of its drop.
And just as suddenly as it began, the aircraft stabilized, but into a sky none of them recognized. Through the fog, the pilots finally saw something, bright runway lights, belonging to an airport that didn't exist in 1955. Passengers leaned toward the windows, trying to understand the airport glowing beneath them, one they had never seen before. As they descended, the aircraft finally saw the ground, but the runway waiting for them wasn't from 1955. The wheels hit the ground hard, an impossible landing at an airport decades ahead of their time. As the aircraft slowed on the runway, they saw vehicles rushing toward them, vehicles from a future they didn't recognize. Emergency crews surrounded the aircraft, staring at a plane that shouldn't exist in their time. Security teams advanced carefully through the fog, closing in on an aircraft that shouldn't have been there. Then, the cockpit door opened, and a Pan Am pilot stepped out, dressed for 1955.
The pilot lifted radio and called from Miami, believing it was still 1955.
Miami Tower, Clipper 914 request instruction.
In the 1992 control tower.
Miami Tower. Unidentified aircraft. Repeat, identify yourself. What is your departure airport?
The tower tried to respond, but nothing about the call made sense.
When the tower answered, the pilot seemed even more confused.
Miami Tower, Clipper 9-4. Why is the runway paved?
Inside the tower, confusion spread fast. The flight they were talking to didn't exist in any record.
Security moved closer, cautiously, signaling the pilot to step down from the aircraft. And then he stopped. It was as if he heard something inside the plane. A strange light rippled from inside the aircraft, a pulse that didn't belong to any normal cockpit.
Suddenly, he turned away from them and ran back inside the aircraft.
Without warning, the engines roared alive. Fog tore across the runway as the aircraft powered up.
Slowly, impossibly, the aircraft began to move. The old Clipper lifted off and vanished into the fog, just like it had the first time.
Back in the tower, chaos erupted.
The flight had vanished off radar again.
Theory 1. Time slip. The aircraft crossed a rift and arrived 37 years late. Theory 2. Hoax. But if it was a prank, why do the names match? Theory 3. CIA. Pan Am worked with intelligence agencies, and some planes never filed real flight plans. The footprints were wrong. Patchy, uneven, like someone flickering in and out of reality. And then the trail just stopped. At the end of the trail was a burn mark. Not from fire, but something hotter, something stranger. They scraped the residue into evidence bags, and every instrument they brought spiked the moment it got close. In the mobile lab, the residue refused to match anything No metal, no fuel, not even radiation they could trace. Within minutes, government agents arrived. No badges, no explanations. They just took the evidence and shut everything down.
In a locked hangar, the evidence was sorted, stamped, and buried.
Decades later, the files surfaced. Redacted pages, strange notes. The 1955 manifest and the 1992 arrival list matched line for line.
They compared the 1955 cockpit audio to the 1992 tower tape. The machine found a 99.7% match.
Same voice, same man.